So I've literally had to accumulate a new gym wardrobe. And I just got these from Muscle Republic. And they're a tad on the tight side. The one thing that I do notice about certain clothing brands is that sometimes I get the same thing, the same kind of like short, but then they come slightly different sizes, and this is kind of what's happened with this one. But yes, as you guys will have now seen from my previous video, this is the completed gym. It's actually a stinker of a day today. And one of the things that we have to get in here is a fan, because it's a tinned box. It's a heat box, as we like to say. But today, literally just had a little bit of breakfast. I feel like I could have eaten a little bit more, but I'm in a rush this morning. I really need to get out, get a few things. But first, I'm gonna get in a workout. And this was one that I literally just did last week, but this week, training has been a tad different. I haven't been actually feeling that great. Energy levels have been like 0, nausea, just feeling pretty poo. So training has definitely decreased a bit this week. And so I'm gonna take it easy today, not do anything too hard. Just kind of have a flow workout, get on the bike, get the heart rate up a bit, get a pump on, and then carry on with the day.
Time to leave the past back in the past. Try to make the most of every chance. The future we can't see, they can't tell us who to be. Toss the lock and key and live it free.
Turn it off while I talk to you. I currently have the engine on. It's honestly, those last few sets, I actually felt like I was gonna pass out. It was so hot. So for the last few sets, I'll quickly update you guys before I rush off. The last few sets I took extra rest time just to bring my heart rate down a bit, because it was just overheating. But we're off. I didn't even have time to cool down properly, so I'm sticking the cooler on and then rushing off to go and get food. I'm actually still out of breath. It was a good workout. It was a good workout. It was actually a little bit more intense than I had planned, but it's actually amazing how much of a difference and how harder it makes it being in the blazing heat. It's like, it felt like working out in a sauna. and it's something that I'm definitely getting used to. And one thing that I have noticed with being pregnant, heart rate goes up a lot quicker and I feel so much hotter, so taking all those things into consideration. But I'm gonna stick this heater on and shoot off to go and get food shop. Quickly ran into the supermarket and picked up some goods. I don't want to keep having the Cokes and stuff, so this is a more natural fizzy juice kind of version, but I'm going to give that a go. I've tried a few of theirs before, so when I was really sick during the first kind of early stages of Prego, first 3 months when I was on the road, when Mike and I were on the road, had these ginger beer and they were actually really delicious. Can't stand anything that I had now during those first 3 months because it just makes me feel so sick. But this is the passion fruit one, and it's naturally sweetened with stevia, so none of the nasty stuff. Cookie. Now I know that they always look better than they actually are, but I'm gonna give it a go because I'm so hungry and I rushed out the door, so didn't have time to grab a post-workout snack. But I'm gonna go and pick up what we're doing this evening. Mike and I are having a bit of a Christmas celebration because it's the 1st of December today and it's stinking hot. Still can't get used to the heat for Christmas, but we're gonna try and make the most out of it because it's our last Christmas as two. Weird. Feels very weird to say. First, let's see how good this is. It smells really good, and I absolutely love passion fruit. I mean, it could definitely taste better if it was in the fridge. Oh, that'll do. Kind of tastes like one of those fruity ciders, but without the alcohol. This cookie though, have I made an error with getting it? It does look kind of chewy. No, I mean, I'll eat it because I don't like wasting food, but just stick to what you know sometimes. Trying to get all of this shopping in. So, haven't done the absolute biggest shop, but we tend to get very similar things each week and just change up very few, just kind of depending on what foods we want to have that week and what we're fancying. Because what Mike and I tend to do is have foods, but then completely rinse them, that we just don't want to have them anymore, so then we need to think of something else to have. And Mike does a lot of meal prepping, so it's kind of thinking what to give him every day as well. What we have been doing is prepping food, so making a big batch for dinner. So that's kind of what we like to do. We don't like to do heaps and heaps of cooking, but we also like to make good food. So we have got slightly different foods this week because, well, actually for tonight, because we're having like a little, not necessarily a celebration, but like a Christmassy, just relaxed evening together. So we're gonna make burgers, so I've got some burger stuff in here. I feel like we're trying to make the most out of the few weeks, weekends, like evenings, just celebrating us two, because I know that once baby is here, it's gonna look a little different for a little bit while we get used to being parents. So yeah, this is what we usually get. We have been going through this like absolutely anything. We've been making lots of protein pancakes, been making chocolate shakes. I have the worst sweet craving, so it's just doing the little healthy things that help to curb those cravings, and one of them is having the healthier version fizzy drinks rather than drinking lots of Coke and Monsters and things like that. These have been another new thing in my diet. Bacon. So the bacon tends to be a bit fatty, just depending on what I get. Also a new thing is I do get the click and collect food orders. Saves heaps of time. One of the downsides that I do find is that you don't get to pick your own fruit and veg and your own products. Saves time, but then sometimes you get things that you don't quite want. So one of them is being bacon and it being a little bit fattier sides sometimes. So I tend to go through the bacon and pick the leanest one. But I've just basically been taking the fat off and just having as much normal meat as possible. I have been having those as a post-workout or pre-workout snacks with a bagel, with cream cheese, or just on its own. Just a quick and easy protein source. Because we've been drinking so much milk, so this is my big skimmed milk. I get through this in a week and I actually have to savor it towards the end of the week. I just have a lot of milk in my diet. I do love dairy. I love the cheeses and the milks and things like that. And Mike also, in one of these packets, has 2 of these as well. So we both get 2 3 litres. So we drink 6 litres a week. So Mike has 2 of his full fats here as well. So the next thing is what's been helping to curb my cravings. I feel like I have spoken to you guys about this before, but one of the things that help me at the moment, I'm hoping that once this pregnancy is over, I won't have the cravings anymore, but I've heard different. I've heard that it does go on for some time sometimes. So again, just having healthier fizzy water tends to help with my cravings at the moment. Got quite a few packet rices here as well. We've got jasmine. Mike really likes the coconut rice, so we've got that as well. It's just such a quick and easy carb source to have, just to whap in the microwave. So we tend to get quite a few packets of those, and we also take them camping as well. Organic diced tomatoes, put in pasta sometimes, making bolognese with lean mince and stuff. So we've got that. Honey to put with fruit and yogurt. Sometimes I put it in smoothies. Also with Weetabix to sweeten it up a bit, put as like a natural sweetener. I either put that stevia in or honey, and I think that's a really good sugar alternative. Talking about sugar. Snacks helps curb the cravings a bit as well. I don't tend to have too much of this, but I am absolutely in love with chocolate orange. You know, the Terry chocolate orange balls. I haven't seen any of those in Australia, and when I spoke to Mike about it, he didn't seem to know. So maybe they don't do it here, maybe they do, but actually my favorite. I tend to go for the darker chocolate. I tend to go for 85%, but this is what we're having at the moment. This is for Mike, but I thought I'll show you guys. This is a yogurt, fruit and nut. So he normally has a big pot of trail mix, which he takes out and about with him just as like a source of fruits and nuts. Also got a bit of chocolate drops in the previous one, but this one is the yogurt one, so it has yogurt drops instead. I don't really have those, but I have actually had these trail mixes when on trail runs. Funny enough, trail runs or longer hikes and things like that. I haven't really done any of the trail runs or lots of hiking recently, so haven't had as much, but that's what I tend to have with me as well. Really should put these in the freezer, so I'm going to show you guys these ones now. Also, since Mike and I have been living together, we've been living together for over a year now, but now we're properly settled into our first little place. We're kind of getting on top of nutrition and prepping food, and one thing that I've found really useful, something that I used to do in London when I was in the UK as well, was have lots of frozen veg and all the salted amount. So I also have these in the freezer at the moment as well, but we've pretty much rinsed it because we loved this one so much. And I also have peas and sweet corn, so I decided to get a bag of carrots. I find having frozen veg really useful because sometimes things just get pushed to the back of the fridge, just get forgotten about and then don't get eaten, or they just kind of go bad after a few days, like a day or two sometimes. And yeah, just freezer food, vegetables specifically, it just does it for me. And you get to have different vegetables with your meal and find it really useful. So carrots and green beans. So going on to the next thing to also know that I have started bringing my own bags to the supermarket to try and save the plastic bags that's going on here. It's so easy to forget it though, isn't it? So the next thing is eggs. I have to say, Mike and I have eaten a lot less eggs. They used to be our absolute go-to. Eggs, sweet potato, nuts, all of that, but it just got to that point of us just rinsing it so much that we don't want a lot of eggs anymore. So the only reason why we have eggs in the fridge at the moment is for making protein pancakes. Bags of fruit. We've got peaches, nectarines, plums. Honestly, so delicious. I've been having pineapple, but sometimes it's kind of a hit and miss thing from the supermarket. So I've been taking these as snacks places, post-workouts. Just really so delicious. My favorite is the peach. So we got a bigger bag full of those. And then I've got another bag here. I was missing a bag. I left it in the hallway. Because we're making homemade hamburgers tonight, I've got lean mince, a big batch of chicken. We've been making lots of fajitas, but we've been, again, making it so often that we're changing up our chicken and starting to have grilled chicken breast. So I tend to get a big packet of that to last us the week. Sometimes we put it in the freezer, but we've been seeming to get through so much meat at the moment. Big block of cheese, because something that I have been loving at the moment is having sourdough bread. They didn't have any at the supermarket today, which is why I don't have any to show you guys, but I normally get a big loaf of white sourdough bread. I normally have that in the morning, pre-workout, sometimes put cheese on there. I've been loving grilled cheese on bread or on toast, really good. And peanut butter and things like that. So again, been getting through that like anything. Because we're making burgers tonight, we have rolls. These are mine because I absolutely love these. Again, pre-workout or just a yummy lunch. This is the poppy seed and onion. Put this with bacon and the cream cheese. And then the last thing that I have, red peppers, tomatoes, and red peppers, which we tend to grill with onion and put them in wraps with chicken. So these are the things that we always get. The other things that we do tend to buy, which we don't get from the supermarket now, are fresh strawberries. So we've been going to a little local stall. This man grows his own homegrown strawberries. So we've been buying punnets of strawberries and they have been so delicious to have. We also go to the butcher to get butcher sausages and lamb and pork. And yeah, those are kind of the go-to things that we have. But again, sometimes we mix up our meats, we mix up our fruits, and just kind of see what we fancy for the week. Nothing about this is super clean or, you know, restricting foods. Like, I still get bad cravings and tend to have a bit of chocolate. It just kind of depends on what the goal is in terms of what I'm trying to achieve in fitness and what I need to be having in my nutrition. At the moment, goal is to grow a healthy baby and just stay as active and healthy as possible, but not being super restrictive. Like, if I was losing weight, then I would be more careful with the amount of sugar that I'm having and the amount of bagels and like heavy carbs and things like that. At the moment, it's just fueling the body with really good food, eating enough so I'm not hungry. I've kind of slowed down on tracking macros at the moment because getting to that point where I'm just eating to fuel my body and just going off of how my body feels because it changes all the time. But I hope you enjoyed. I am going to pack all of this stuff away. Bye guys.